Well, hello.
Hello. Good to see you.
Thank you. You guys too.
And hi, Rose.
Hello.
So in
Hello.
my office, I have Veronica. That's our MDS guru. I have
Okay.
Martha back there. That is our biller and our business office manager guru. And I have Nagar Gulshan. That's our director of nursing.
Everything guru.
Everything guru. We all bow to her. Yes.
Perfect.
And then Rose is
So-
on there. That's our medical.
And then
record.
and then Rose, her little smiley face is there. She's works with us too.
I'm
She's
here.
in
Thank you.
there she is. She's in another office because she's too good to come to my office.
She's working. Scanning.
That's not true.
She's scanning.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then if you let Brad in, he's Cypress.
Oh, there we go. There's Brad.
And then now
Are
Brad just joined us and he's Cypress, our regional. And then Dylan Patterson's there and he's with you know Dylan.
They know me.
Good old Dilly.
We also know Brad pretty well.
Hey guys, good to see you. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, so I'm gonna stay off camera so you don't get dizzy. But good to see you guys, and apologize for this taking so long. Doug and his team are the best, and I'm excited for them to be able to see it. And as far as working with the team and being collaborative, this is a great group to work with. So sorry it took so long to get this going forward, but I'm looking forward to them seeing it and kind of moving things forward.
Now I have to apologize before we get started, Kim and your team. I tried to get it on a big screen and we're having technical difficulties because our IT professional from Cyprus, his name is Dylan, doesn't pay attention to me when he comes to my office. So my TV isn't working very well, Dylan. But anyway, with that
And
said,
this is an opportune time to bring that up. Thank you for that. That's
you're welcome. You're welcome. So we're all watching on my tiny little laptop in my office. So just be mindful of that.
Well, perfect. I am recording it, so I'll send you the link so you can watch it on the giant screen later.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Well, welcome. Chris and I have met with Dylan and Brad previously, showed them Triple Check. They thought you would get the perfect team together, like you did of all the gurus over there, to be the perfect place to start Triple Check AI
Okay,
software.
we're gonna go ahead and put this on mute in case we giggle. You don't hear us.
So we have Chris on here. He's going to walk you through. He's going to show you the amazing software that is going to just change your world. And but feel free to unmute if we like the giggles, but if you want to ask a question, look at something, we love the excitement, the oohs and the ahs.
Cool. Well, I will take it over. So I don't know how much context you guys really have on what we're kind of showing here today. So I'll just start really just from the bottom up here. So I'm Chris. I'm the founder here at Acuri, and we're the company that built the automation software for this Triple Check platform that I'm about to show you. So here in a sec, I'll show my screen and kind of walk through exactly what we've built and explain how it works and everything like that. And again, if you guys have any questions as I'm showing anything, don't hesitate. I'll kind of do a quick 1,000-foot view through everything, and then we can go into questions and answers and anything like that. So let me just share my screen really quick. Kim, can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. So essentially, what we've built here.
Real quick, Chris, are you able to blow that bigger?
Let me see. Is that better?
You're doing it. Okay.
All right. So essentially what we've built here is, most of the organizations that I talk to every day are doing some form of a triple check on a spreadsheet or a, printed piece of paper. Everyone is coming at the end of the month and they're meeting in a room and they have their printed list of residents that they need to review for billing before they, submit for billing. And so what we've done is take that, checklist, those same things that you guys are doing today manually on paper, and we've built software to look for all of those same things in real time, continuously throughout the month, so that when you come in at the end of the month for your triple check, 80, 90% of those things that you normally do and sit down and review are already done for you. And so really what the triple check ends up looking like with most of our customers is that they're coming in at a month, they're getting ready to bill and go through that process, and they're really just looking at claims that have been flagged for review. So maybe we found a MSP or we found a HIPS code mismatch, whatever it is. You're really focusing on just those claims that have problems. You're not going resident by resident, spelling their name, checking the diagnosis. All of those things, if they're passing, are already done for you. And so I'll walk through the software and just kind of show you guys how it works. We connect directly to Point Click Care. We sync with them about once every hour. And so as soon as there's a new resident that's admitted into your facility, if we see that they're admitted and their primary payer is Medicare A, we create in our system a claim for that resident, and we immediately start pulling in all the information we need to start evaluating. So we pull in your 5-day assessments, your UDAs for GG admission, your functional abilities UDA, PHQ. We immediately start pulling in everything we need to start evaluating against. And then throughout the month, we're just continuously checking and testing for those things and making sure they're in a good state. So everything you do in PCC syncs over to us, and we update in as close to real time as we can with restrictions from PCC on their data relay latency. So this is really over here, the very first thing you see when you log into the platform. This is kind of the dashboard view. This is an organizational view. So this organization has 25 facilities. I'll kind of go down into one specific facility and show you what it looks like, for you guys if you're looking at your own facility. Essentially, you get this view of how many Medicare claims you have this month. And I will say, today we primarily focus on Medicare A, but we did launch support for Med B in June. So we're supporting Med B as well. And then managed care is coming in about 2 months. So all 3 of those different bill types will be going through a similar check. Each will have slightly different rules, different tests we perform, but the same automation, the same checks. So today, again, mostly focused on Med A for the purpose of this conversation. We can kind of see here, this is a facility level view. You can see how many claims you have. What we call rules are essentially those things on your spreadsheet that you check each month. Is the resident name consistent? Is the DOB consistent? Is MBI correct? Is the HIPS code match? Is the ARD right? Like all of those things are what we call a rule. And we're constantly checking to see if they're passing. So here we can see we have 68 out of 73 rules or claims are passing for the month for this facility. And if we kind of scroll down, we can see what the common issues are. So ARD mismatch, HIPS code mismatch. I can already tell for most of these the issues probably that MDS isn't complete for these residents or some other similar thing. But you kind of get this view at the facility level of everything going on, how many claims you have, how many are passing and ready for billing, and what your kind of common top issues are. So I'll show you guys really what it looks like, day to day. So when you're coming in for your triple check at the end of the month, one of the first things you'll do is you'll apply a filter here. We just want to look at claims for May. So we're filtering for our May claims. We can kind of see here the status of the claim and the approval status, and I'll walk through what the approval status means in a moment. But we get that same, view that you would have on paper, that alphabetically sorted list of names. You can sort by claims that are passing or failing. And so if you want to see, one or the other, you can look in and see what's going on. And so from here, I'll kind of show you what it looks like within the claim itself. So this is an example, of a single resident and kind of the things that we're testing for that resident throughout the month. And so kind of left to right, we have all of the information on the resident here, their name, MRN, admit date, the billing period for this person, their primary payer, and then claim status here, and then the approval information over here, which I'll talk about last. Over here on the right side, we have our list of validation tests that we're performing. So we have 2 kind of categories of rules. One is informational, and these are all the things we see here, your BIM score, the CMG breakdown. So just all of the information that we can pull in for the claim. And kind of the main goal with this info level rules, these will never fail, so they'll never prevent billing. They're never something that will, result in a problem. But the goal with this, and a product we'll be releasing in several months, is to help automate your ADRs. So if you get an audit, you have to go in and provide evidence to the auditor from a claim 1 year ago. we kind of document everything that we would expect you to have to provide during that audit. So every UDA that was done, when it was done, who did it, who locked it, all of the information that we might need is all in one little packet that you can export and hand to the auditor. So that's kind of the goal with this information level rules. When we scroll down, we have the rules that are passing or failing. And so these are rules that have an actual test being performed. So it's like an if, this, then sort of a tree that's looking, for various things. I'll go through, a couple of the key ones. Again, if you guys have questions, don't hesitate. But we're looking for everything in here, that you would normally look for, and then some.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you see we have 69 of these passing rules, 23 informational rules. This is probably quite a bit
Chris,
more than you do in
question.
your. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
if you said the thing is live, right? It's actively checking this information.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
so patient gets a new Medicare number or a new MBI number because it's happened. Will this actively tell me before the next assessment that has changed so I can verify it with the business office?
It does actually. So we have our own
Before I
clearinghouse.
transmit.
Yeah, so we have our own clearinghouse in our system, and so when you guys have when you put the MBI into point click care, you put the MBI on the UB04. As soon as that claim gets generated and your UB04 gets generated, that triggers us to run a fresh eligibility check. And so if the MBI is incorrect at that point, you'll get notified immediately that the MBI is incorrect, and at that time you'd go, figure out what's going on. I know that CMS recently reissued like 3 million MBIs due to fraud, so I'm sure you guys are dealing with some of that. And so you'll get that kind of advanced notice in our system pretty easily, and be able to address it before the day you're trying to build a claim. You're knowing well ahead of time. So here I'll go kind of just quickly again walk through some of the things we're testing for. So ARD timing window, so we're making sure your 5-day is done on time, making sure the completion is done on time for the 5-day. We have a bunch of rules that are looking at the type of bill on the UB04. So if someone's discharged to hospice, or if they're transferred to another facility that you're partnered with, or whatever it is, there's a specific type of bill that's expected on the UB. And so we just look for that. If we see that someone is discharged to hospice and we don't see the correct type of bill, we'll flag it. If we see there's a expiration in the facility, we don't see the right type of bill, we'll flag it. All the variants of these things we're kind of checking to make sure that the bill matches what we're seeing more broadly in point click care. And so just for example, if there's an issue with something like this, if we catch it and it's failing, you kind of have two paths that you can take to fix it. Obviously, the preferred path is, you go into point click care, you figure out why the type of bill is wrong, and then you regenerate the trial or recreate the claim, and flows into our system. We evaluate it with the new information, and the rule goes from failing to passing. So that's one option. The other option is, if you are like, hey, actually, I just want to bill, this type of bill issue isn't a big deal. I'm not worried about, to prevent us from billing. I just want to move on. Each of these rules are also overridable, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. But essentially, if this is failing, you can really easily click a button on the right that says override failure. It'll ask you for a comment. And so if you're the business office manager, you just want to bill, you can say, this shouldn't hold up billing. We'll fix it tomorrow, sort of a thing, just to get your claim looking ready. So our goal is never to delay billing when there are these issues. You can always override, you can move quickly. The goal really is to kind of surface the problems and make you aware of what's going on in the facility. So a couple other things we're looking for: admit date consistency, ARD consistency between the UB and MDS. In addition to these tests, the ARD tests and HIPS tests, we're also looking to see, let's say that we see an IPA that's open during the billing period for a resident, and we don't see an IPA being billed on the claim, we'll notify you of that. So, you may want to complete that IPA, recalculate the claim, make sure you're getting the correct, payment rate, because that'll obviously drastically change what you're billing for. So we kind of notify, we look both directions. Whatever's being billed, we make sure there's the correct locked assessment that was done on time. And then similarly, if we see something like an IPA that's not being billed, we let you know. And again, if you're like, actually that IPA, should be closed, then you can just override it and move on. But if you're like, oh, I didn't know there was an IPA, I need to get that done so we can regenerate the claim, then to go fix that issue. We do a lot of tests for UDAs, so we're looking for all of this, UDAs you'd expect: the daily skilled notes, GG admission, PHQ, BIMS, functional abilities. We look for all of those UDAs. We look for all of them being completed in a timely manner. Those are all things that won't really affect your billing. Like, you should obviously bill. If GG admission UDA was late, it's not going to prevent you from billing. But what it will cause issues with is if you get audited down the road and they find those UDAs weren't done on time, that, you know, those can cause, those are reasons for concern. And so we kind of let you know when that's going on, just so you can address it from a process perspective or policy perspective, or whatever it is. All the demographic checks we do, like I mentioned, we run our own eligibility checks. So we kind of use that as our source of truth. We pull from PCC the date of birth. CWF, this says CWF, but this is our eligibility. So we're making sure the date matches. MDS, UB, consistent across the board, making sure it all looks good. Same with gender, same with name, same with MBI, all of those standard demographic tests we're doing. If we see a middle initial in the eligibility, but we don't see it in UB in your PCC settings, we'll let you know so you can address it. As I mentioned, HIPS code consistency, this is bidirectional. MBI, MDS, we do look for MSPs. So if we see an MSP when we run our eligibility, we let you know early so you can go figure out what's going on if it's going to affect billing. We look for a qualifying hospital stay. So when we run eligibility, if we see a qualifying hospital stay that matches what you're billing, we'll let you know and we'll pass the rule. If we see something that mismatches, maybe it's off by a day from what's in the UB for whatever reason, we'll flag it and let you know as well. We do check for things like NTA diagnoses. So we obviously look for primary. We make sure the primary matches your therapy, your MDS, your UB, all of those are consistent. But then we go further and we look in the MDS and we say, actually, it looks like there's a couple of diagnoses in MDS that are NTA points, that are NTA diagnosis that weren't sequenced, that could change our payment rate. And we flag that for someone to go review. And so at that point, it's human review. If you decide you don't want to change anything, that's great. But we find customers often find opportunities to increase billing when they see that there was some note of a, increased opportunity for billing in those things. We check all the ancillaries. So we look for X-ray lab results. We look for pharmacy orders. We look for, if there's orders, we expect results. If they're being billed, we expect both. If we see orders and results that are in PCC and not being billed, we let you know so you don't miss out on those things. All that's done automatically on our side. And then all your therapies, we check PT, OT, and ST, make sure they're consistently documented and present in the system. So all of this is done automatically, constantly, in real time throughout the month. So when you come at the end of the month, what this looks like is if this patient is ready and all these rules are passing, you just bill. You don't do anything. You're not spending time at all on this claim and checking the name and all that stuff. You just, know that it's ready, it's been reviewed, and you bill the claim. We do have this concept we call approvals. And the reason for this is, CMS still expects that participation in some sort of a cross-functional review at the end of the month. And so we set up what we call approvers, and then we create a couple of roles. And this is an optional feature. You can turn this off if you don't want it. Most of our customers use it. But you create the roles. So if we say we want at least one MDS resource and one business office manager resource for each facility to approve each claim, we assign those individuals as those roles. And then at the end of the month, when they come in, they just have to click a quick button that says approve on the claim. And they're allowed to put comments in there if they want to put comments in there. And we get kind of a history that when CMS comes knocking or when you get a RAC audit, you can say, hey, look, we had our participation, our business office manager participated, MDS participated, and here's the evidence. So you kind of get that full track record of everything that was done 1 year ago. Because no one remembers what you did a year ago. You don't have to pull all the paperwork and try and give it to them. So this gives it all of it in a nice kind of easy view there. So I've been talking for a minute. I'll take a pause here. This is kind of the primary core feature set that we have today. Are there any questions or anything I can answer for you guys you want to see a little bit more of? And you guys are muted if you had a question. I can't hear you.
This means no more spreadsheets, right? You're not giving us a new spreadsheet. This does the work.
No more spreadsheets, yes.
Oh, thank
If you're
God.
still using spreadsheets
Now you're
with
happy
this
now. I'm
software.
happy.
Yeah, no more
We
spreadsheets.
went
no
into
more
this
docs.
we went into this trepidations today going, if we have to do another spreadsheet, we're gonna poke our eyes out.
Our goal is to get rid of those spreadsheets. Yes,
And they
100%.
make them smaller and smaller. The boxes just get tinier and
I know,
tinier.
our magnifying glasses get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, no, the goal here is that you know spreadsheets and you're spending far less time. You know, we have some of our customers, they're billing 70 Med-A claims. They're coming in at the end of the month and spending 30 minutes on the triple check. They're just a couple issues, they close them out and then they move
Yeah,
on with their
we're
day.
we're seeing the advantage of this.
Yeah.
We're also seeing the disadvantage of this because what we do like is our company for 3 or 4 hours because we always eat lunch once a month
You know,
together.
It's so funny you say that because I predicted this like 6 months ago when I was in a facility in Fullerton. And I said, people are going to be so upset that we're missing out on these catered lunches that I think our business will fail. It's so
No,
funny you say
every
that.
month we look forward to, well, what are we going to eat this month?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can cater at least a few lunches for you guys when we get
Well,
started.
we're still going to eat our lunch each month. We've decided.
Brad wouldn't take food from us.
Yeah, Brad wouldn't take any food from us. No.
But your lunches are always welcome as well,
Never.
Chris.
I'll bring lunch, but I won't take it. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, I did forget to mention something. So everything here is automated. There are 2 questions that are manual in the system. So each month, someone has to go into each claim and answer these 2 questions. Is there an OMNOC required and is there an ABN required? We can't automate this. There's no way for us to get that information from Point Click Care today. So these are the only 2 things you have to do manually. You have to go in and just answer these questions for each resident. You just say yes or no, and then you move on. So this is something you do anyways today. We just put it here in a little checkbox. I didn't want to forget this and brush over this. Awesome. I'll show you guys as well, just really quickly, what the override looks like. So when you get into a claim that has failures, kind of what it looks like when there's an issue. This is what it looks like when there's something failing. We can see we're just missing the UBO4. It just doesn't exist. So the rule is failing. So in the event that this happens, again, you just click this and you can very easily, set this to passing. So you're not delaying billing and you can move on with your day. So the goal here is to, just make it easy for you guys to put a comment in, override the failure and move on if it's appropriate. Our preference is always that when there's a failure that should be fixed, that you actually fix it in Point Click Care before you do the override, because then we get a nice clean, bill of sale, everything passed. But in the event that you just need to move on and you move quickly, then this is always an option we provide here for folks to use. And that's really it, guys. It's pretty simple. We try not to boil the ocean and keep it easy for you guys and make this as fast as possible. So any other questions that I can answer?
Will this be a separate system or will it be like an extra button on PCC?
It's a
To have an
separate
extra
system.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a separate system.
And when do we start?
So the next steps for us really are just working with I think Brad and getting the MSA signed, and then as soon as we get that, we get your data relay configured and we get you access and we get you onboarded. So as soon as we get all that done, I set a meeting up with you guys and get you the access, walk you through everything, make sure I'm available to answer any questions and kind of train you on the system, and just get everything going from there.
Okay. Sounds like you meet a lunch date with Brad and then you bring us lunch and come show us how to work it.
Lots of lunches now.
That's right. That is correct.
Okay. All
Where
right.
are you guys located? You're in
We're-
California.
We're in Placerville, which is outside of Sacramento in the Sierra Mountains,
Okay.
We're close to
I
like
know
we're
that is.
never from Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
I used to live up in Roseville. if you guys
Oh,
know.
well, then you know where we're at. We're Placerville.
So make
Yeah,
it a
that-
Friday, stop by, have lunch, show us a thing, and then you guys can go to Tahoe for the
Then
weekend.
you go to Tahoe for the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. My brother's still up there in Rockland, so there's
Oh,
two
there you
reasons
go.
to go up there. Yeah.
Yeah, come on up.
Awesome. Well,
Sounds
we will
good to
work
me.
with we will work with Brad and get this going for you guys. And as soon as we get everything access configured, I'll send you all an email and we'll hop on get you everything's situated and everything you need, questions kind of answered, and we'll go from
Okay,
there.
this is nothing like I thought it was gonna be. We're game for this. Let's
Yeah,
give it a
that's
try.
good.
We'll give this a
Well,
try.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
to
have
hear
one
it.
question.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
go ahead,
Rose.
Rose.
So, I see the certs are tracked, on here, but what about the ones that are in the documents section of PCC? Do you track that? Because sometimes they're
good-
not,
That's a great question. I usually touch on this because this is different between or from organization to organization. So we support two paths for the cert document. The first is a lot of our customers are using the eCert stuff. So if we see the UDA is present, we see the wet ink signature checked or the e-signature is there, we pass. But if you're doing paper certs with your physicians, because you guys are Scan2 customers, what we've done is we've partnered with Scan2, and essentially you can send the document that you send through Scan2 for the cert. So whenever you scan the cert, can be sent to us as well. And then we actually run the document through AI. We extract the signature, the dates, everything we need to look for, and we make sure that everything is present that needs to be present. So as long as your certs are uploaded through Scan2, we can get the same document in our system.
okay, so I just have to do it through scan to PCC.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you all for your time. If there's any questions or anything before we get going, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will work with Brad on getting everything configured and hope to get you guys on board right here soon.
Okay, we're game. Sounds good to us. We'll just wait on pause here until we're told otherwise.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and have a good rest of your day.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you, Chris and Kim also. Okay.
Thanks, Cam.
You too.
Bye,
Thank you, guys.
guys.
Okay,
Bye.
okay, bye-bye.
Talk soon. Bye.